Guys, welcome to New by Design. Today I'm going to be doing a video here on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and this is going to be a review and overview of the TAC-19 Royalty Edition. I'm going to do a little bit different than I normally would, which is basically kind of show you guys the gun itself while we're doing it. Instead, this time I'm going to show you guys the gun doing some kill streaks and just having some more entertaining gameplay in the background, while on the top right we take a look at the things that we are going to be discussing. So right off the hop, I just want to say that this TAC-19 Royalty is the exact duplicate of the Sledgehammer, except for the color pattern is different. So they've added purple instead of the original color pattern. Stats and everything are identical on this gun, so you are getting a fantastic gun when you do have this gun. So let's go ahead and take a look at the attachments. We'll start with the sights here, and you can see the red dot sight has +1 accuracy, -1 handling, but again, a useless sight. You don't need a sight with a shotgun. You have to be uptight so close that it's not going to make a difference to you anyways. But we'll go over it anyway, and we'll start with the target enhancer here, and you can see that the handling is down 1, but it does add threat detection, which is going to turn somebody red when they are in your window there. The laser sight is the only sight I could say that might actually be sort of kind of handy, even though completely useless. This is for hip firing, and it shoots a beam of light out so that you can see where your gun is going to shoot from the hip. Now we're going to get into the stock, which is again useless for this gun, but it does add 2+ mobility, which is going to make you run faster down the map. The foregrip is fairly useless on this gun because it is very, very slow to shoot, so your accuracy is not going to be affected by recoil at all, just because it does take a really long time to reload and to shoot between this gun. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the parabolic microphone, which basically adds a mini-map display to people when they're shooting, when they are using a silencer there. So we're going to go over the advanced rifling. This is one of the attachments I do recommend, and one of the attachments I always end up using because it does increase the range of this gun, which is very, very handy to have. The quick draw grip here is fairly useless for this gun. Makes you aim down the sight faster, but again, it's not needed. You can see in a bunch of these shots here that I'm taking, I'm not even aiming for the most part. I'm just shooting as I am aiming down the sight, and that is enough for me. For the extended mags here, that is definitely going to be one of those ones that you're going to want to add to this gun, because the major downfall of this gun is the massive reload time. It is very slow to reload compared to any other gun in this game, so you definitely want to be using that. So now we're going to go overhead and look at what I use when I am running with this gun here itself. So let's go ahead and look at the attachments here, or sorry, let's actually start with the wild cards that I'm using. You'll notice I am using Perk 3 Greed. That's because I want to use 2 perks from Perk 3 group, and I am using the Streaker perk because I like the Streaker wildcard. It adds 4 streaks, and kill streaks are fun. Love having tons of kill streaks to choose from here. So let's go ahead and look at the perks here itself. For perk 1, I'm going to be using low profile just because I like low profile. It makes it so I'm invisible to UAVs, tracking rounds, and the exo ping, which a lot of people are still using. I myself used to use exo ping for quite a long time. Now we're going to take a look at my perk 2, which is going to be blind eye, and that is going to be undetectable by tracking drones, explosive drones, and score streaks, except for the UAV itself, which is very handy to have. For my perks 3, I'm going to be using scavenger because I do like having lots of rounds because my accuracy is not the best, and I'm going to be using hardline, which lowers my score streak cost by 100, because like I said, I do love running with 4 score streaks here. Now let's go over the score streaks I'm using, and that's going to be the UAV because it is handy. I'm not going to be using anything addition to that. I'm going to be using the bombing run, and again, it's going to be the bombing run is going to be the standard bombing run with no other perks or anything on attached to it. The third one is going to be the warbird here, and I am going to be using the aggressor perk on it just because that only costs 50 points and it makes it go into auto mode. That is super handy to have. And for my 4th score streak, it is going to be the paladin, because the paladin is just awesome. That's it, just because it's awesome. Sometimes I add the 105mm cannon, but generally I will not, just because that extra 300 points is quite a bit to get with this gun for my skill level, as I do not run too often with shotguns. But that's going to be all there is on this gun here, guys. I'll let this last kill streak here go out before we end the video, but that is all. If you guys enjoyed this video, found it useful at all, it sure would help me a lot if you guys would click that like button. Also, if you guys have time, you can hit that bright yellow subscribe button just in the center there. That'll notify you every time I publish a new video. Thanks very much for watching, guys.